Hey everyone, this is Daunter. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking all of the 1-star, the 2-star rainbow cards, as well as the immersive cards from the newest set of Pokemon TCG Pocket, Space-Time Smackdown. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Daunter. I make videos regarding the artists of the Pokemon TCG. I have a series called the Pokemon Artist Review, and I'm still trying to find new things to do out with the channel, but the channel is growing greatly. I'm seriously impressed with how crazy it's been over the past couple months. I have a lot of subscribers now, and I'm trying to get to 500 subs, so if you are new to the channel and you like my content, then consider subscribing. But anyways, let's just get right into this with our first 1-star card. First start is going to be the Tangrowth, illustrated by Saboteri. This card is really cool. As a starter card, it's nice. It's pretty cool. In terms of the fact that Tangrowth is just really big on this card, I think that makes it pretty appealing. I think that, like, the cleaning products in the background give us a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Obviously, Tangrowth is about to be cleaned, or it already has been cleaned, as you can see from the brushes and all the different kind of items that you would see for Pokemon being cleaned. This is a cool illustration. I like, Tangrowth just looks kind of silly, which is a perfect way for the Pokemon to look. But for a starting card, I will put in B tier, just so it can give us a good baseline here. Alright, for our second card, we've got the Combee by Shibuzo. This card is really nice. I really love the different colors of the flowers and the trees, and there's a bunch of different Combees. They all have different expressions. They all look very characteristic, which is great. I think that the cards that have Pokemon look super, characteristic always look really nice. And I think that the purple, you have the pink, the blue, the yellow, pretty much all the different colors you can imagine with a bunch of different kinds of plants, which is really cool. I think it's pretty good. I'll put it in A tier for now. Next, we've got the Carnivine by Yoriyuki Ikigami, which is always a really, really good artist when it comes to the plants. They always have a really great foliage. I've also done a video regarding their illustrations before, if you're curious to see more about them specifically. This is really cool. I love how many different Carnivine there are. I love their different poses and little expressions. I've always loved Carnivine personally, so it's really cool to see Carnivine get a really cool card in the set. Personally, I like it a little bit more than the Combee, but, that's just preference. Next, we have the Shaman by Rend. The Shaman is really, really beautiful. I think this art style that Ren has just lends itself so well to the Pokemon art style just because, I don't know, it's just so realistic, looks so nice. The Pokemon always look so great in their environments. And the Shaman is no different, it's like definitely not an exception to the rule. I think this card is great. I know that people really love this card, and they would be upset to see me place it anywhere lower than A. And I think it deserves to be somewhere between the A and the high B tier. I think it's a really, really good card. But for the sake of this video, I will put it in A tier. Next, you have the Mamoswine by Okacheke. This card is cute. I think that Mamoswine guarding its little babies, the little swinubs and the Piloswine. It's a really cute illustration. It gives us across the idea of this Mamoswine being kind of like a motherly figure pretty well. I'll put it in B tier, high B tier. I like it, but I just don't like it quite as much as the Carnivine, Combee, and the Shaman. Next, we've got the Gastrodon. This is by Takashi Shiraishi. This artist is really interesting because they have this really cool paint style. As you can see in the background, it kind of looks almost like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for saying this, it kind of like Starry Nighty. I don't know, it's really, really cool. I actually really dig this card. I think this is probably one of my favorites, which is kind of weird because, like, I feel like, normally I wouldn't give this card like this, a moment of spotlight, but I really like it a lot, actually. I love the style. I just think it's a really great looking card overall, and I think Gastrodon is definitely a Pokemon that deserved a 1-star. Next, we have the Manaphy. This card has a lot of different things going on with it. Mikikudo is the artist. They also did the Charizard from 151, if you know that card. I like the Lumineon, I like the Shellos, I like the Blazel, and I like the Staravia. I like the different environments of the card itself. You have like the blue clashing with the yellow, and they kind of mix into each other at the midpoint. You also have the kind of beach here, you have the underwater here. It's all different colors of water, which is really cool. So you have like the kind of pinkish water, the deep blue water, yellow water, and then you have like the kind of tealy water, which is really, really cool. It's a really cool mix, and I think that it's honestly pretty cool. I like it a lot. I'm going to put it in B tier though, because there's just a lot of cards in the set I really like. Next, we have the Shinx by Yu Nishida. This card is amazing. I love Shinx, and you have like a Volkner's attire right here, which I just noticed right now. I really love the fact that you can see Volkner's clothes here. Shinx, playing around with the clothing, and Shinx being an electric type, which makes perfect sense for Volkner, as well as a trainer, kind of synergizes with the Pokemon. Really love this card a lot, and I'm going to put it in A tier. Next, we've got Rotom. This is by Chimerish Yukichi. This card is very cool. Rotom is probably top 20 favorite Pokemon for me, so it's one of my favorites. And I love how all the different forms are represented in this card. You know, you have the base, you have the wash, heat, fan, mow, and the fridge, frost, or whatever. That's pretty awesome, honestly. Like this, I really like this little setting, and it's like a very compact house. I think there's a lot to like about it, and like a lot to appreciate about it. I like it a lot. I'm putting an A tier. I don't know. I know everything is in A tier right now, but it's just so many good cards in a set. So many good artworks. This one, the Drifloon by Orca. This card is amazing as well. You kind of have the spot filled out for when Drifloon appears in the games. And all the little illustrated Drifloons have their own little personalities, which is really cool. You have, you know, Pikachu, you have Tailo, Meowth, and just so much to like about the card, honestly. The shading is fantastic on this card. The colors, you know, you have like the light blue atop, and then you have the purple shade fading into the kind of pink. Then you have the sun color right here. And this is like kind of right outside the area where you catch Drifloon in the games, which is such a great idea. Just so cool. It's like connected to the actual illustration, or not the illustration, the actual gameplay, which is really cool. Next we have Mesprit, illustrated by, looks like this is also illustrated by Orca. Same, yeah, they're both illustrated by the same artist. Again, it's really beautiful. I think their shading style is fantastic, honestly. I think that this card is really cool because like all the different lake spirits are kind of in different poses. You have this one like going down, you have this one going up, and you suddenly have this one like coiling up into a ball. So that in and of itself is a really cool idea and concept, and combining all three of them into one card is really cool. I like it. I think it's nice. And yeah, I'm gonna put it in top of B tier for now. Maybe right there. Next we've got the Giratina by Rond. Oh man, this card is amazing. Right? I know that people love this card, and a lot of people love this card. I don't just love this card because it's cool. I like this card because it's cool. And also because all the three lake spirits are there, and also because Giratina just looks incredible. Ron's style is just so like, it's just so detailed and intricate. Like you have the different staircases going down in the background that kind of spiral into the back. We also have staircases that lay down this way, and you know, you have all these clashing colors. It's a very gorgeous illustration, and I love it a lot. First S tier card of the video for sure. Next we've got the Cresselia by Rika, and this card once again is absolutely stunning. Colors are great. The Pokemon featured Cresselia is awesome. You have like the other child holding out this, I don't even know what that is. They're holding out some kind of charm. I think that probably has something to do with the games that I'm just not informed about. The Starly plushes are cute. And I don't know, this is just such a dreamy illustration. You know, the deep moon in the background as well. It's, again, just amazing. One of my favorites in the whole set. And next we have the Rhyperior by Taiga Kayama. This cute style works pretty well for this Pokemon, surprisingly. Being such a serious-ish Pokemon, it works pretty well for this kind of style. Like the miners in the background. They're in that one cave in the game. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, they're helping out the miners in the cave. You have a little Geodude hiding inside the rocks, which is cool. I think the Geodude is hiding in the rocks because when you use Rock Smash, sometimes Geodude can pop out. I like it. I'll put it, you know, in B tier, firmly planted right here. Next, we've got Lucario. This is one of the few cards that we did see before the set came out. This is by Akira Komiyama. This is like the most high definition one out of all the other ones. It's cool. I love the smoke effects. I think that's probably my favorite thing about this card is those kind of green and pink smoke effects. That's a really cool idea, really cool concept. I also like that Mienshao is in the card. Mienshao, Hitmontop, and Metasham, Hitmonchan. All Pokemon that can synergize with its ability to do extra damage with fighting type Pokemon, which is really cool. I like it, but there's just so many good ones in the set. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say that which one is better, which one is worse. I like it a lot though. I'm gonna put it right here in A tier. Next, we've got the Hippopotas by T0. And this one shows a bunch of different Hippopotases sprinting along the desert. I like how there's the different gender versions. They look kind of different. Which is cool. I think this is probably one of my least favorite ones in the set, personally. I don't know. I mean, if you love it, you know, by all means, love it. Keep loving it. I feel like in a set with just such strong contenders, I feel like this one is just kind of not as, like, impressive. Not to diss T0's style. I think it's a very beautiful illustration still. This set is just held to such a high quality, I think. It's just, like, a little bit different. I don't know. I just feel like I like some of the other ones a little bit more, personally. But that's just me. Speaking of ones that I like more, the Spiritomb is ridiculously crazy by Shinji Kanda. Shinji Kanda is obviously an artist who a lot of people love in the physical TCG, with those cards from them being very, very expensive. But why do I like this card, right? Not just for the baseline, I like Shinji Kanda, so I like this card. You know, it's amazing. The dynamism of the Pokemon is incredible. Like, you have it coming out of the odd keystone, and you have it like kind of, it goes this way over to the left here, and then we go have it expanding all the way outwards. And you know, the shading on its face is just so detailed and like kind of scary. And it's just so big. It looks so imposing. You have the little tiny trainer right here as well. And I like the, you know, the sunset looks fantastic, and you have the trees which kind of add to that vibe. I don't know, it's really cool. It's like an explosion. This Pokemon is exploding outwards, which I think is a really, really awesome idea. Another ST card. I like it more than the Giratina. It's probably one of my favorite cards in the whole set. Next, we have the Croagunk. Again, another card that I absolutely love. This is by Gosan. This card is a standout, I think, in my opinion, just because, like, you know, it gives a really great personality to the Team Galactic runs, because Croagunk is obviously a Pokemon that they use a lot. And, you know, you have it, like, right next to the vending machine, like, looking at all the plushes, kind of intrigued, and you have the Team Galactic grunt in the background, kind of, like, trying to actually play the vending machine. And you have this one kind of directing the other guy to push it in a certain way. It's really cool. It's really, really great. It just has so much personality and love in it, and I like it a lot. I don't know why. I just really, really like this one a lot. Next, we have the Heatran. This is going to be by Okubo. This card is also quite interesting. It's just like so interesting. On the illustrations for these cards, for Skarmory, for Magcargo, and for Rhydon, they all have the little paw pads of Heatran in it, and you have it in this illustration kind of walking on the roof here. I really love, the thing that I really like about this card is that all the different sections are kind of very nicely differentiated. Like, you have Heatran section, which is mostly lava. This section, which is kind of like, I don't know, like kind of pattern rocks. This one is also just more like intricate pattern rocks, and this one is like got some grass growing, right, with the Skarmories, which is cool. It's really, really cool, actually. And then you have the really, really cool, like, circular pattern that kind of goes throughout the card. So you have it kind of going out towards the Heatran, you have it coming out towards Magcargo, and then you have it going out towards Skarmory and Rhydon, which is really cool. I think that this card is pretty dope, honestly. It's probably not like up there with my favorites in the entire set, but it's definitely still really, really cool. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier for sure. Next, we have Garchomp by Minami Namitake. This card is really, really cool. I love this card personally. I think the thing that I love so much about this card is it just gives us like a really good like look into what a Garchomp's life would even be like. It's just kind of sleeping, kind of chill. Not what you would expect a Garchomp card to be, which I think sometimes is a subversion of expectation cards. They're some of the best cards that we have. Think like the Tyranitar V from Battle Styles. Like, this card is amazing. It's just really, really good. You know, illustration is super strong, and it's just a very cool Pokemon. And I don't want to put it any lower than A tier, so I won't. Actually, I'll put it in B tier. Yeah, that's cool. Next, we have the Staraptor by Ryota Murayama. This one is cool. I feel like this kind of card is good, but I feel like the Pidgeot from Genetic Apex is a little bit better. That's just me personally. I like how many Pokemon are in the card, and I like the effects of the water a lot, actually. I think that Ryota Murayama is a wonderful artist, but I just don't think this is one of my favorite, works of theirs. It's just not one of my favorite illustrations from them personally. It's cool, but it's not one of my favorites from the set. I'm gonna put it in C tier, unfortunately. Sorry. Next is gonna be the Bidoof by Shinyu Komatsu. Shinyu Komatsu's style is really cool because it's got a lot of blue in it. I feel like it's pretty easy to tell when a card is by Shinyu Komatsu. You have the Bidoofs kind of like working together to destroy these trees, like just absolutely obliterate them. You also have the ones in the foreground kind of floating in the water, also equally obliterating the trees. I think it's really cool. I think it's really cute. I don't think it's one of my favorites in the set, obviously, but I still think it's got a lot of personality. There's just all the cards in the set are just, they have so much personality, so much love and care put into them. It's just amazing. Oh, man, this is another one that's incredible. Glamia by Matazo. This one is amazing, amazing, amazing. I think the shading on this card is absolutely phenomenal. And I like how you have like the, I don't know, I just like when there's a lot of personality given to the Pokemon. Like, obviously the trainer of this Pokemon really loves the Pokemon Glamio, as you have it kind of framed here. You have this really fancy mirror. You have the Glamio looking at itself, but you also can see its face as in the reflection, which is really cool. And I think this card is awesome. I really do. I really think it's awesome. And I'm going to put it in A tier just because I love it so much. Yeah, like that much. Honestly, I really do. Next, we have the Regigigas by Tetsu Kayama. This card is awesome. Again, a really interesting card. You have all the different Reggie Pokemon featured on it. I think there's just such a great sense of unity in these cards. It's just like, you have so many different Pokemon, but also just like, it doesn't kind of interrupt from the main one here. Really, really cool. You have the temple in the background as well. The crushed, like, kind of pillars and stuff. And you have the kind of squiggly lines and stuff. Little smaller details. But yeah, this card is cool. It's really cool. But I will put it in B tier. I think I like the Garchomp a little bit more. Now moving on to the Rainbow 2 stars. Yanmega by Mina Nakai. This card is cool. I like the background a lot, actually. I like the rising sun. I think it's super detailed and nice. The sky is also super detailed and nice. You have the Pokemon kind of just sitting on the tree here. It's an atmospheric card, right? Like, it's not the most personality-filled, amazingly detailed, hyper crazy illustration of all time, but it still has a very great vibe to it. Very cozy, you know, kind of wonderful vibe to it. Kind of reminds me of the Garchomp in a way. I like the Garchomp a little bit more, but I still think Yanmega is a great card. Next, you have the Infernape by Nagimiso. I was lucky enough to pull this card, so I'm happy to have it. The whole diagonal line shtick going on in the background is fantastic, and the way that it overlaps with the sun, or like whatever, the planet in the background is just amazing. It's incredible. The way that you have Infernape riding on a stone is really cool with those crazy fire effects. And you know, it's dynamic. It's got pretty much everything you could ever want in a Pokemon illustration. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. I really like it a lot. I like the Koroguk and the Carnivine a little bit more than the Infernape, but it's still really good. Next, we have the Pachirisu by Nurikabe. This card is pretty cool. I think that you have a lot of different things to like about this card, with like all the different personalities of the Pokemon kind of like running around, and you have one kind of charging up the main one here. I'd like it a little bit less than Yanmega, unfortunately, and some of these other 1-star cards. I think it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that I just don't like as much as some of the other ones, which doesn't mean that I don't like the card at all, but I just prefer some of the other ones to it, I think. And I'm gonna put it like right here. Next, we got the Mismagius by Kuromori. This is an artist that I've actually reviewed, so if you're looking for more cards like this, that would be perfect. This card is amazing, actually. I actually really like it. I love the flowers and all the different petals and stuff like that. You have the kind of really interesting idea of like love, right? Obviously, it's a big theme of this card. You have the little kind of heart being drawn out in the flower petals, and you have the two people like kind of like looking lovingly through the window here, and you have the Mismagius looking outside. Really interesting looking card. It's got a theme, which I really like about it, and I don't know, the illustration itself is pretty great as well, and I'm gonna put it firmly in A tier. Next, we've got the Gallade by Takumi Wada. This card is amazing. I don't think there's a single reason for me to dislike it. I love the puddle effects. I love how Gallade is looking down at the puddle, kind of like longingly. And Takumi Wada is perfect illustrator for this kind of things, because you know, those crazy ripple effects and like all the different super crazy hyper detailed effects of it really make it all come together. I like Gallade as a Pokemon personally, so I have bias. I like it a little bit more than the Mismagius, but not as much as the Infernape, so I'm gonna put it right here. Next, we've got the Weavile EX. This is by Hungry Clicker. I like this card a lot. I think it has everything you could want in a illustration here. You have the personality is shown off really well. You have the Pokemon kind of scouring, you know, the land for a Pokemon to pretty much eat and kill. They see the Swinub kind of running by itself, and you know, they look ready to pounce. Like I said, it's got everything that I want in a Pokemon illustration. Firmly in A tier. I like it right here. I just really love the Krogan thing with Roselia. It's gonna take a lot to kind of overtake that, and this card does it, in my personal opinion. The Darkrai EX by Isolde Kato is probably one of my, if not my favorite card in the entire set. It's just fantastic. I don't know what else to say about it. You have personality in the trainer's house. You have a little partner Pokemon Diglett. You'll have the trainer kind of scared, you know, afraid, looking like kind of like they're having nightmares. Snorlax doll, Clefairy doll, Magikarp doll, the Pokeball. It's great. It's fantastic. One of my favorites in the set, if not my favorite. And finally, we have the Licky Licky EX by Jerky. I like this card a lot more than I probably should. The angle of the being like 2 or 3 stories up is a really cool idea, and you have it holding a bunch of berries as it's stealing them from the truck. It gives the Pokemon a surprising amount of personality, honestly, and I think that it kind of gives me similar vibes to the Weavile, honestly, if we're looking at them side by side. I like it. I like it a lot. I think I like the Infernape just a little bit more. And I like the Gastrodon just a little bit more, but that, you know, I'm okay with putting it in A tier. That's cool. And then next we have the 2 Immersives. So out of the 2, I would say the Palkia is probably a little weaker. Actually, I would say the Dialga's a little weaker. I have both of them. I pulled 2 Palkias and 1 Dialga. I pulled a Palkia this morning, actually. So yeah, the immersive effect of the Dialga is kind of like it progressing through time, and then you see like the grass kind of growing and just decaying, which is interesting. And then time resets, and then you have the Palkia, which kind of just stands there. And then as it shifts, you have a bunch of different moving like parts in the background, like staircases and different, you know, areas. I think these cards are okay. They're illustrated by N-Design Inc., which I don't particularly love. I don't really love when 3D graphics companies are the main illustrators for the final 2 cards of the set, especially compared to some of these amazing, incredible, fantastically amazing, great, good. I don't know how many other adjectives I can use to describe these illustrations, how good they are. They're amazing. They're incredible. The set is really, really good. These cards are okay. They're nothing to write home about, I think, honestly. For immersives, they're probably my least favorite immersives in the set in the game, honestly. I'm gonna put them in C tier. Might be blasphemy, but actually, well, let me think on this. Don't get too mad yet. I don't think they're horrible. I discredit them a lot for being 3D illustrations because they're just kind of standing there. And both the immersive cards, they really are just kind of standing there, not doing anything. Like, the effects are cool, but like if you just take them as an individual artwork alone, like the Palkia is cool. I think the Palkia is probably cooler than the Dialga in terms of just like a still frame, right? So if we're taking it like that, maybe this card goes like here. Maybe this card goes like here. If you really want to fight for it being higher than C tier, the thing is, at the end of the day, this like list, this whole thing, it's just all my opinion. You know, like it's kind of hard for me to say whether or not I love something, whether or not I hate something. I don't hate anything. This set is amazing. There's not a single card in the set that I think is really a D tier, you know, contender. I think this set is great. Like half the cards are in A tier. I think that's cool. That's perfectly fine. You know, I only have 3 S tier picks, but those 3 cards really speak to me. They're incredible illustrations that I think I would love to have personally, and I love all the illustrations in A tier. And I'm gonna make the executive decision to move the Shaman down to B tier, and I actually like it a lot less than some of the other cards in A tier. It's not, like I said, I don't hate the Shaman illustration. I know people really like it, but it's my list. That's my list though. If you guys have a different, take, I will leave the list in the description in the comments, or description or whatever. If you guys have anything that you want to let me know in the comments below. But I hope you liked it regardless. I mean, I hope everybody likes my video regardless. I really hope you guys like find something to enjoy or something to appreciate out of this episode of my ranking. This is the final episode of my Pokemon Pocket ranking. So yeah, regardless, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.